Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the GitOps version control lab for specific action setup. This is for your workflows, basically for your CI/CDs, and you have certain prerequisites to do this lab. You should first have gone through the other three labs. I will directly start from the fourth lab, but I don't recommend you do that. Okay. So we first create the VM environment, the lab environment, and while that is getting created, there are certain prerequisites that you should be having. Um, First of all, a GitHub account, then a GitHub repository. This GitHub repository is created as part of the initial labs. So by the time you reach here, you will already have this lab. And then you need to have a developer token. I will show you how to generate one. There might be other videos already created for this by me, but anyways, I'll show you for this video as well. So you go into the developer setting, you reach there from this page. So here, settings, and then you go to developer setting. And here you go to the tokens, the classic one. And in the classic one, you generate a new token. Again, it is going to be a classic token. So I will name it as demo and set 30 days as expiry, even though I'm going to delete it just after this video. Then you have to give two permissions. One is for these repos and another one is for workflows. So remember, workflow and repo, these two permissions are needed. And then we generate the token. Now, whatever you see here is only going to be visible to you once. So make sure that you copy it. For our sake, I'll just put it in a notepad or somewhere here. Let me actually open a notepad and put it there. Let's open a new one. All right. So this is where we are going to store the token. Let's close the other guy. And let's see if our lab is created. Yeah, so our lab is created already. 1 minute and some seconds have passed out. So what we'll do next is we will quickly install Git, but for that you have to do apt upgrade first. Okay. In your case, because the labs would be in continuation to the previous labs, you probably will already have this upgrade done for installing Git. However, if it's not there, then just follow the commands that I have mentioned here. After that, you have to install, and you have to install Git, and -y is a sub command for auto approve. All right. Then we will go into the practice section. We will just move this guy a little bit here. All right, so we have enough space to see both of the sides. And the first thing that we have to do is we have to create a user. Now you cannot use the default user, that is the root user with GitHub Actions. So we have to create one. So I will just paste the command here and then create a new user. And then I will switch to that user. All right, so let me switch to that user. I have to create a password. I'll just mention as test and give that again. So test, and then I can switch to that user. All right, so now we are switched to that new user. And you can confirm that by who am I command. Next one is we have to clone the repository. Like I said, there is certain prerequisites, and these prerequisites, because in the previous labs you will already be creating that, I will just copy it here and show you how to edit it. In your case, this would look something like git clone and then your name here. All right, so for me, if I go here, then you will see this is my name, username. So it's S Nadeem or Said Nadeem BE. You can also get the same detail if you just clone it from here. All right, so in your case, change this part and the rest of the things will remain as is. All right, and we copy this command and then we go back to our lab terminal and we paste it. All right. Then it should have done the CD. Let's see whether it did the CD or not. No, actually. Let's see, what is the CD command? Okay, my first repo should have done that, but anyways, we can do that ourselves as well. My first repo. All right, so this is our Git setup now. Now ensure that everything is proper. It should be proper, but we will check anyways. Git status, yeah, we are there. And then we have to see the remote information as well. Again, what are these commands? What are these sub commands? Everything is covered in previous labs. So make sure you don't directly come here. You actually go through those labs, okay? Then what is a GitHub Action Runner? Basically, this is an equivalent to a Jenkins node that we used to have, where your all automation will be running. There are two type of runners that you can have. One is called a self-host runner, and another is a runner that GitHub gives you. So here what we are basically doing is this VM where our lab is, we are going to register this VM as a new runner. So this VM is going to go here inside my first repository, and then it would be registering a new runner for the actions. Okay, if you go from here, settings icon, and you go into the actions and you see runners, there are steps that would be given to you for creating a new host runner. Now remember, these configurations are time bound. So whenever you are doing this lab, you have to go to this settings page and copy these configurations. Let me copy that. And you will have those steps also mentioned in the documentation of our lab. So let's follow that only. Make directory for the runner. Okay, let's do that. And then after that, we have to change the directory. We'll do that as well. All right. And then we have to download the latest GitHub Action Runner for Linux. Again, all of this information is already present here. Create a folder and do the runner. I'm just validating whether our lab steps are correct or not. So you also follow the same steps, okay? So let's hit the enter. And then after that, there should be a package that should be downloaded. So basically, we are doing a pull mechanism. We are pulling all the content from our lab, and it is going to connect to the remote repository of GitHub. So let's paste this guy, and then, yeah, so we have our tar, and now let's untar this and get certain SSH files. Sorry, not SH, SH files, not SSH. Okay, so it should take a few seconds. It's done. Now list the content. This is, or these are rather our configuration files which we need. Now, here is a note. Token expires in 1 hour. Just what I was telling you, and there is a theory reference for all of this. Go through this, and basically what it is telling you here in this step is exactly what I just did. Go here and copy this token. All right, I already have this copied. So let me go back to this lab and then paste it here. All right, let it authenticate. Sometimes the authentication goes without any issues. Other times the authentication, even though the token is correct, would fail. And basically it will tell you what it has failed for, and you have to separately provide the token name and the repo name. Same thing here. So this is my repo name and this is my token. If it fails, you have to just provide it separately. Let's see if it fails here also, then I would do the same thing. All right, no, it didn't fail. So if it fails for you, just follow the steps, okay? The steps are straightforward. Now you just have to give a name to your runner. This is basically going to be your label or the reference for the actions where to run. So this is kind of a name that, hey, I have multiple runners. I want to run my job in lab VM runner. You can skip the rest of the steps, okay? So runner is successfully added. Great. This has been added, but it has yet not been started or it's not active. So if you go here again in the runners section, and let's hit the runner. You will see that runner, but it is still offline. There is one last step that you have to do, and enter the name, work for, oh, this is not needed, you can skip it. Then you can run the runner in the foreground, that is, you can keep it active, or you can run it in the background. We should always run it in the background, so let's do that. So the runner has started in the background. What it means is, now if we go here, after some time, this guy, which is in offline, should now be online. It should be green. Okay, give it some time. It will eventually happen, and it will eventually come into green. Okay, then we again go to our code and we create a file there. Let's see if we are at the right place. Yes. So let's create this directory first of all. This is the folder directory where all your workflows would be created, and then we will create a simple workflow. Don't worry if you are not aware of what are workflows or what am I talking about. The lab will give you a detailed explanation about the workflows. So you just paste the content here and hit enter. Basically what you did is you created a file, and that file is inside this folder. I'll show you. So ls.github, and there should be workflow, and this is the file that you created. All right. And the detailed information about the job and what it is doing inside is not important for us in this lab. I would be explaining that in the other labs. Now let's see how it triggers. So what I am mimicking here is a automated process. So whenever a code is pushed in to a repository, in my case, the repository is called my first repository, so nadeem.be/my first repository. Whenever there is a code pushed here, what I want is it should be built, it should be tested, it should be scanned, and all of that should happen automatically. So this would be the basis of my CI process. Eventually, we'll use it also for CD, but right now we are only having our focus and our attention on the CI process. So let's now commit some changes. Even though I am going to commit it, but it is going to fail because I have skipped the previous labs. And in order to commit, you have to first configure. Let me show you the failure and then how to fix it. You probably will not have this error, but if you have it, don't worry, it's simple to fix. So it'll say, hey, I don't know who you are. Can you just configure yourself first? So I'll say, okay, I am this guy hyphen hyphen. It's exactly giving you here what you have to run, and I'm just writing that down. Global user dot email, and this would be my email. So let me write it down. Site theme be@gmail.com, and then close it. And the next command is okay, git. Let me write that again. Git. Oh, for some reason my keyboard is not working. Oh, okay. It's asking me for the password actually. So we don't need the password right now. We just need to configure it. So let me write that command once again. So I will say git config hyphen hyphen global space user dot email, my email ID at gmail.com, and then I have to configure in the same way git config hyphen hyphen global and my username. This is basically for your commits, whatever you are going to make on the remote repository. So I'll mention my name. All right, now this command will work. Let's see. And it should ask for the token, the same token which we created earlier. So my name is Said the BE. You can give the token here, or you can just copy it. I am going to show you where it is copied. So this is the token that I copied earlier. Let me copy this guy. All right. Copy this guy and come back to our lab. Hit enter, and for the password, hit enter. All right. So I made a check-in to the code, and now automatically in the background, there should be a runner which should be running our job. So let's see if that worked. Yes, it's active. And then if I go into actions, in the actions, I should see my CI getting triggered. So this is my CI. This is my workflow that I just now created. This is the CI workflow. And if I go back into the actions, and it has passed. Now this is a demo, of course. Later on in the labs, you will see proper steps for having the build stage, the test stage, the scanning stage, and all that stuff. All right. All the best with the rest of the lab then. Thank you.